And there was another guy giving the seed away to an old lady. Michael said, "That's my guy." All right, fair and square. They move on. They go to St. John, Mass time. Michael said, all the people inside the church are my guys. And Lucifer said, all the guys outside smoking and buying things are my guys. That's where they move on. They come to Greenfields. On the way, they see YMCA. CLP. Michael said, all the people attending the CLP are my guys. Lucifer said, well, when the talk starts, those who sleep and those who text are my guys. Don't sleep. I know it's quite funny. An Indian guy talking to a whole bunch of Filipinos about family. It can't get more ridiculous than this, but please bear with me for the next few minutes. Well, I have to claim that I'm not an expert. I'm not an experienced guy with families. I'm still young, as you can see. But I'm here for two reasons. One, I want to be a better husband to my wife, Ruth. She asked me to say. And I want to be a better father to my son, Fernando. And I'm still an ordinary Catholic, trying to learn more about my faith, trying to understand God's plans. And secondly, I also believe that God does not call the able, but He enables those who call. So I'm totally depending on God's providence here when I'm standing here. And of course, obviously, Brother Jojo forced me to do it. So, Christian family, you all are happy with your family? That's good, my job is done. So let's go to a bit of a background here. Family was God's plan, agreed?
Yes.
Amen?
Amen.
God's plan from the very beginning. How it was from the beginning. How beginning? Like they say, long time ago. So long ago. Nobody can tell how long ago. It was that far away. Right from Genesis. I like to quote a verse from Genesis, two verses from Genesis. God created mankind, as we all know. He created us in His own image and light. So He created male and female. So what does that mean when He created male and female? That means He wants to put them together to form a family. Like family kind of fully represents the characteristics of God. Into it? How? A family has father and mother. A father provides, protects, and he punishes, disciplines or judges us. That's what God does. So the male part is taken care of. And what does the women do? Women, the female side, they love, they nourish, they care. All put together is God. This is what characteristics of God are. So it was God's plan right from the beginning that men and women come together and fill this earth. That's what verse 28 of Genesis 1 said. God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and increase in number and fill the world, fill the earth. We in India and Chinese took it very seriously, and we in Philippines is not compliant. So it's quite evident that God had this plan that men or mankind has to be as a family, not as an individual. Though He created us separately, male and female, with different attributes, We have different physiologies, different psychologies. We are good at different things. Our strengths are different, our weaknesses are different. But when we are put together as a family, as husband and wife, we form the basic unit of our society. That's called families. So it's not an accident, it's not some kind of coincidence or anything. It is God's plan and God's will that men and women are come together as a family. Well, when there is something good, there is always something bad, or the bad side is trying to destroy it. What more better way to destroy the world God created than destroying the fundamentals of the world? Everybody has seen Avatar, right? Yes. So when they want to destroy the home tree, they go and shoot the columns, the foundation of it. That's when the whole tree falls down. Now, easy to the whole tree to fall down if you shoot or destroy the foundation. And that's what the world is out to, or the evil one is out to destroy the foundation of our society, our families. I mean, the Bible mentions that we face three kinds of enemies. In Ephesians 6, verse 12, it says, our battle is not of blood or not of flesh. We are not fighting any physical war. Our battle is against the worldly forces, against the flesh, the desire of the flesh, and against the Satan himself, the evil forces himself. So all of them are out to attack the family. And what are the ways that we attack? I mean, we've been attacked. The family has been attacked in this today's world. It's quite easy. I mean, everybody knows. I mean, whatever we're going to discuss today, everybody knows that. Right? Family is important to us. I've talked to a million Filipinos, and everybody say, and each and every Filipino agree that they have a strong family value. True, Nana? It is true, because I've seen them, I've experienced it, and family values are very important to everybody, especially the Asians, and Filipinos and Indians. But that family, the basic values are under attack. Brothers and sisters, we have to realize that. I'm a software guy by profession, so from my very beginning of the career, I learned that to solve a problem, first thing you need to do is accept there is a problem. If you start to neglect it, or if you say, okay, no, there is something, you cannot find a solution. You have to accept first that it's a problem. So brothers and sisters, this fundamental unit called family is under attack. And we have to recognize it, and it is very serious. We as Christians just cannot simply say, well, times are changing, okay la, pwede la, so la. No. Times are changing, yes. We have to change, yes, we may have to, but our fundamentals, our values should not be compromised. Agree? Yes. Are you with me?
Yes.
Shall we do a dance again?
Yes.
Wow. Well, we are now that really big time show, yeah? So what are the basic problems or basic things that is disturbing our families or attacking the family? I personally feel that there are two things which is quite serious in this day and time. One is divorce, the other one is gay marriage or homosexual marriage. Well, I really don't understand why they don't want to get married, but still, this is the basic, I mean, according to me, which is very serious, which can destroy family as we know. Because God created man and women to be together, to bring a family, to raise our kids. Those single parents by choice, those who are single parent by choice, not by unfortunate incidents by one spouse passes away. That's not what we are talking. We are talking about those single parents who are single by choice, who are having kids without getting married. It is a serious issue. How will the child growing up know what God is? Because we parents are the first teachers to the kids. They learn the basic things from the parents. So it is very important that the child sees a woman as a mother and a man as a father. Gay marriage will change all those. Two mothers, two fathers. Child is going to get confused. Who's who now? So that is one big problem now. And secondly, we also have, we focus too much on materialism these days. We want everything to be the latest. We know we need a big house and lot. We need a Toyota car. We need big cars. We need big bank balances. And we need an easy life. Everything now is quick and easy. We need everything easy, food easy. When I first went to Philippines, my favorite food was sisig. Masala. So you all know sisig is very hard to cook. You have to cut, clean, and do all those things. After 2-3 years, I saw in SM sisig in cans. So it's like quick and easy. Everything's easy. Anything you want is there in cans and sachets. So our life is so fast-paced that we want everything done by yesterday. In that rush, and for us focusing on easy life, we tend to take the easy path. Easy path like corruption. Easy path like abortion. So these are the basic values which are fundamental to a family, or fundamental to Christians, which we are compromising on. Well, if we talk about corruption, we can go on and on, because India and Philippines are not probably, they are almost the same corruption index. But yes, families are affected by abortion, because couples are not taking their marriages seriously. Male and a female come together as a family in the bond of matrimony. So if you don't take that seriously, the problem starts there. So we need to recognize this problem now. We cannot say, well, I don't know it, or we don't do it. It's the society, or it's this how it is. No. Us, parents, and especially you, future parents, have to realize there are certain absolute values which you cannot compromise on. And families are being destroyed by the new media, by the new way of life, the modern way of life. Like Brother Lawrence mentioned in the first talk, the paradox of modern time. We have everything, but we don't have nothing. We have all the latest gadgets, we have all the communication equipments, we speak less to each other. We don't have time for each other, brothers and sisters. Parents don't have time for kids, kids have no time for parents. SMS, text, even though they stay in the same room. We have come to that. Is it affecting the family? What do you think? Yes. So we need to recognize this. And providing livelihood is a big chunk, takes a lot of time of us parents. But again, this is a challenge, to find a balance between career and family. Everybody says, yeah, I'm doing this for my family. I'm I'm doing this for my family. But if you don't spend time with your family, what's the use? Like for example, a father buys so many toys for his kid. He buys all the ball and everything, whatever he wants to the kid. What does the kid do? He just keeps it with him. He has a ball, a new ball, but he has nobody to play. So as parents, it's important you provide, but you should also be there for the kids. Well, for most of us here, we all have young kids, so we all are the same wavelength. We have still some time until they go to the teenagers where the real problem starts. Traditionally, a family was a place where, or even now, it has to be the place where the kids learn their first lessons. Agree or not? It is their first school. It is where they learn their first lessons. Most of us who are here today, our character, our personalities, depends to a huge extent on what our parents taught. We can say that we are like this, our personality is this because our parents brought up in that way. So that is a traditional family where the wisdom is transited to their kids. So that's not happening now because parents don't have time. They're either in the office, they are in the airport, or in the park. They say that kids see the parents, it's an expert opinion that the kids see the parents as God. Why? As I said in the beginning, the attributes of God, the characteristics of God: love, protect, provide, and judge. That's what parents we do to our kids. We love them, protect them, provide their needs, and we judge them, we punish them, we discipline them. So the kids' understanding of God has a huge impact on your character as a parent or as a future parent. How you behave, how you treat yourself, how you treat others, especially your spouse, and how you treat the child. So the image of God depends hugely on these factors. So brothers and sisters, please take note that it is not, the child does not learn about God in Sunday school. He learns about God in the house, through you as father and mother. So I can keep going on and on about the problems we face. So many problems. As I said, there was a plan, there was a perfect specification God provided, and the evil one is trying to break it. So we need to find a solution. So what's the solution? Any idea? Dance again. There's this story. I mean, there was a father who was on a Sunday afternoon like this, sitting in his living room, reading a magazine, sipping on his beer, and his child, little Johnny, came up. Papa, I want to play with you. I want to play with you. Johnny, go to your mother, play. No, Papa, I want to play with you. So what the father said, thought, okay. He saw a old man in the magazine he was reading. He took it, cut it into pieces, made a jigsaw puzzle, said, Johnny, okay, take this, and put it together. He thought, this will take some time, I'll have some free time. But Johnny went, came back within minutes, said, Papa, I fixed it. He was surprised to see everything was perfect. The world map was perfectly arranged. Yes, Johnny, how did you do that? Easy. How did you fix the world map? World map? No. I did not fix the world map. I fixed the family picture behind it. You see, kids, by instinct, relate family very easily. Last night, Friday night, we had a household, and the kids went into a separate room and they were doing something. they were asked to draw. Invariably, you ask any kid, he or she will draw a family picture like this. This was Christy, 6-year-old. A few more. This is Missy. She drew a family, 4 or 5 years old. And this is my son. He said, this is Papa, Mommy and me. Papa could have drawn something like Tom Cruise. Mommy, I agree. Quite similar. And God's all for fun. See, brothers and sisters, kids watch us, watch how we behave, how we treat ourselves, how we treat our wives, our husbands, and that has a huge impact on them. So that's why even without teaching, they will invariably draw a family. They don't have any practice or anything. They will draw. Even a stick figure like that, they will recognize father, mother, myself together in a house. So as I said, the example, Johnny was able to fix the world by just fixing the family. It's quite simple as that. The state of the world depends on the state of the family. Agree? They say happy family, happy society. Happy society, happy nation. Happy nation, happy world. So it starts in the family. So, what do we need to do? Solve this problem. First and foremost, we need to stop what we are doing, reflect, take stock of our life. Stop and review our values in our life. We as parents, and you as future parents, you have to have a clear picture what will be the values of your life and what will be the values you will pass on to your kid. This beautiful example that is the vase, a flower vase, a very antique flower vase. It's been passed on from generation to generation. And one day, a little boy in a family just drops it while playing with it, and it's lost. The flower vase has been passed, and it's an antique. Has a lot of value for so many generations. It's just lost like that. Experts say religion is just one generation away before vanishing from the world. If we don't pass our faith to our kids, what will they pass on? Nothing. So it's just one generation away. But the trouble with these days, the kids are, they say, you say to them, son, it's a very antique, has a lot of value, please keep it safe. You will say, Papa, it may be for you valuable, but for me, nothing. So how do you do it? So that's the challenge. It's how you sell your faith, your beliefs, your values to your kids. You have to be a salesman these days. What better way to just show them by example? Rather than preaching or talking, just show them by the way you live, by the way you act, by the way you speak, in everything you do. So you need to be an example to them. Fathers, they say, are prototype, a prototype for your children. Invariably, when you see the kids grown up in their early youth, you will see yourself in them. By choice or not, they say the fathers are the prototype for the kids. So added pressure on us brothers. So we need to take full responsibilities of the family. Again, it's not an accident that it said that it's in the Bible. God has laid the plan for us. in Ephesians chapter 5 verse 22 says, wives, submit yourselves to the husband as he is the head of the family, as Christ is the head of the church. So we are the head of the family. That means we are not bosses. In verse 25 it says, husbands, love your wives and give yourself to her as Christ did to his church. So even though we are heads, so we have a dual responsibility as fathers. One is to provide, the other one is to preach. So we have to take care of their physical well-being as well as the spiritual well-being. And again, experts say that the biggest let-off for youth these days, or turn-off for youth these days, is hypocrisy. You keep on preaching to them, but you don't follow. You cannot set a very bad example than that. So I have pressure on us fathers that you need to provide as well as preach. And wives, don't take the place of the fathers. Not me, I'm not saying it. It's there in the notes. I'm just messenger. As the Bible says in Ephesians 12, 22 to 25. Well, it's difficult these days that meeting ends with one salary. The world economy is not that good. So the wife and the husband has to work. Yes, fair enough. But the roles have to be well defined. The head is the father and the wife is a supporter who do things together. And if you carefully notice verse 22.1, it says, wives, please do not use silent treatment on your husbands.
I don't think it's
I had to slip it in because I know my wife will be listening. We both have our own strengths. Men and women have their own strengths. Men are good at something. We are good at conceptualizing things. We are good at being very specific. Women, on the other hand, are good at other things. Let's not be specific, right? I'm already in trouble. So we have to complement each other, right? We have to work hand in hand. We have to be two hands that claps together and makes a sound. We can't take, because if you're a father and mother trying to outdo each other, the child will get confused. Say, okay, mommy is doing something by herself, papa is doing something by herself, whom do I follow? But let's go to my internet. So the basic thing what God intended to do, that we bring up our kids as a family, as father and mother, we are not following. So be specific in that. The husband is the leader, the wife is the supporter, to do things together. Well, I just remember this story. There were three women walking through the woods. They had came across a stream or river. So they had to cross. The first woman said, "Oh Lord, please give me the strength." Started praying, "Give me the strength to cross this river." Behold, lo and behold, she got big arms and a lot of strength. She crossed the river. The second woman saw, "Oh, I have to outdo her." It's always women, they have to outdo each other. Sorry, auntie, that's again. So I said, "Lord, give me strength and some tools to do it better." So the Lord gave her strength and a canoe or a small boat. So the first woman took 1 hour, she took 40 minutes to cross. The third woman said, "I have to do even better." I said, "Lord, please give me the strength, the tools and the wisdom to do it better." The Lord turned the woman into a man. The man took out the map, saw there was a bridge 5 minutes down the lane, so went there, crossed the bridge in 10 minutes. See, we have our own strengths. Direction is not one of them for women. I mean, joke again. And we need to spend time together as family. That is what is most important. It's not happening because husband is working, mother is working, kids have tuitions, kids have karate class, kids have ballet class, kids have soccer class. What time is your soccer? So everybody is so busy doing their own, but we don't have time for each other. So cut down, brothers and sisters. If you have a family, if you're in your future family, make sure or give emphasis on time together. We have a lot of time. I mean, they say 24 hours is not enough, but if you can manage it, there is a lot of time. It's only that we need to make that effort to identify what is important, what is not. So prioritize your commitments. Prioritize your commitments. And parents, we need to establish an environment which is conducive so that the child will know that he is in a Christian environment or Christian family. I'm not asking you to turn your house into a Catholic souvenir shop, but you have to provide that environment by the movie or the TV programs what we choose to watch, by the TV programs what we choose to, the books what we read in the house, the magazines and all those. So parents, we have to take that responsibility. And the last point, this point cannot be stressed, overstressed at all. Pray together. I mean, it's very simple, just pray. An evening prayer or night prayer, or family prayer together. It can be very, very short. It doesn't have to be a whole rosary. It doesn't have to be a whole novena. Very short. Before you go to bed, it can be like, Lord, please take care of me and my family. It can be that short. But once you inculcate that practice into your kids, you can see. I mean, me personally, we do that, and now it's Fernando who is like, Papa, you forgot to pray. Can we do it tomorrow? No, today. Papa Jesus will get angry. And even before you eat, yeah, he will remind us. So it's pleasing to me. And you need to find support. You can't do it alone. It's very, very taxing, very, very demanding to find support. Support in like-minded people. Support from church. Support from all the materials available on the internet. There are gigabytes and terabytes of information available. So, brothers and sisters, just to conclude, we know what's God's plan for humans, for mankind. It was for us to come together as family, man and women to come together as family and bring up children. And that is not happening in a good way. The families are being destroyed. So we need to take stock, review our values as parents and future parents. They say there's this conference, world conferences on societies, where what happened about 10 years ago, I think, 10, 15 years ago. It was everybody attended, atheists, religious, free thinkers, name it, everyone were there. And Mother Teresa was also invited. And hers was the shortest speech in the whole conference. The conference was, they were asked to address about how do you bring world peace and harmony to the society. The whole speech was these two lines. He said, "You want world peace, you want harmony in societies, go back to your families and love them." Thank you, brothers and sisters. That's again.